Good evening, all. I'm looking at my hair. It's wild. Good evening. I'm Ira Epstein, and here we are on Wednesday, 9/11/2024 at 6:15 p.m. And I start off by saying my heart out to everybody from the 9/11 saga that continues. People don't realize how many firefighters have died since 9/11, more than were killed, I'm understanding, in the disaster itself. That is unbelievable. We know that there was all the asbestos and all the other chemicals going around. So my heart off. The debate last night, well, I looked at it and I think I'm nonpartisan. I don't tell you which way I'm going, and I really am, I believe, nonpartisan. So I looked at it very objectively. I walked away with Harris win by a lot. Do I think it matters? No. And the reason is maybe she'll get some swing voters, maybe not. She's not going to move anybody from the Trump camp off of that performance. Trump was Trump is the problem. He was baited. He fell for it. She goaded him. He bought into it. He didn't stay on point. All he had to do was say to her, let's talk about your policies on rhetoric, all right? More immigrants coming in than ever before. Why is it that 6 months before the election, you and your buddy decided to stop the immigration? Could it be politics? He could have said so many things, all right? She got him on, he's a felon and all. You knew that was coming. He got her back when he said, you're talking when I am, please. That's all been there. But on the substance, she offered nothing. Where her win is, she got in front of the big American and worldwide audience, number one. Number two, they polished her up and she was prepped. Trump was not prepped. He thinks he's prepped for everything, but I've learned as I've been in court cases, as a witness, as an expert, it's all kinds of things. And you go in and you have to be prepped. You cannot wing it, all right? He wasn't prepped. He was ready for whatever he thought she'd throw. She was better at throwing it. She was better at evading answers. She had moderators, in my opinion, that were waiting to catch him on lies galore. They did a little bit with her. And in fairness to the moderators, they let Trump talk more than she did in the comeback. So I'm not convinced the moderators swung it. I think it was a bad performance. It was typical Trump in many ways, and he lost this round. That's my opinion. Does it matter? If you're going to vote for him, you're still going to vote for him, okay? If you're going to vote on the substance, you're going to vote on whatever substance you believe he has. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what her substance is. She answers nothing. $50,000 for first-time business, $25,000 for homes. That'll be inflationary. David Solomon picked up on others on it right away. So every home goes up $25,000 for new first-time buyers. They're getting it from the government. The builders can raise the price. This is how things will work, all right? That's that. CPI day. I look at that number and I'm now baked into a 25 basis point move, not a 50. So that's where I think you're at there. Just didn't get hot inflation or weak really coming down. It's still climbing. You do realize it. It's the pace that it's climbing, slowly coming down. Shelter inflation, they didn't get what they wanted at all there. We're going to get jobless claims in the morning. They're looking for 225. August producer price index comes out in the morning. They're looking for a 2/10 increase. Energy analysts looking for 50 billion cubic feet of injection. And in the U.S. grain supply report, hone in on the corn because we're going to get bushels per acre. Now, yesterday, from what I understand, and I went back and checked it, it sounded terrible on two of the videos. One sounded okay. We spent today a while trying to figure it out. We came to the conclusion, the mic. So I'm on a backup mic at this point, and I don't want to screw things up. It is not the top caliber of the other one, but it's fine. And we'll order new mics. You got to realize this is a studio. You got to look for cords that might be bad, which piece of equipment. I wish I could say it's easy. All right, what isn't easy is trading. You know that, I know that. In the gold market, I think gold has said that, it's found a bottom near term in 2,500. Now the question is, can it run? We have Hurricane Francine barreling in as a Category 2 hurricane, and you're not rallying the energy on that. So supply issues, I don't think, are the problem. Point in case. Now, you're going to see Bollinger Bands here, and understand Bollinger Bands are so important in markets that break a lot or go up a lot, because oftentimes they're your break in price. They'll stop the rallies, and there's a way to use it. If it runs with the rally on the band, it tells you another story of strength. I'll talk about that at the end. If you want to get our Bollinger Band course, just move your cursor to the top up here. When you and I look at gold, if you call that a trend, terrific. I don't. I call the market stuck between 2570 down to this support near the 2500 level, caught in there. And we now have a pattern of lower highs and higher lows. So you're making a wedge. And the narrower the market gets into the wedge, the more that it narrows in. You can see the battle at the 18-day average of closes. I told you when you were running here, when you pull back, markets often like to go to that moving average and use that as a stepping stone to whatever next is going to happen. It still doesn't know what's going to happen. It's just staying at that. The Bollinger Bands are wrapping their arms like this around price and coming down as volatility is disappearing. That is a very good pattern, because what happens is as prices spin in here, it's like a spring. They'll eventually break out to the upside or downside. If it's down through the band, you might be going back here. If it's up through the band, I think it's into the 2600 plus area, as some counts on our work call for. You've worked off an overbought condition and you're neutral. So you have the swing line down. The legacy is the lower highs, lower and low first. You have the bias up as you're over that average, and you have worked off an overbought condition and you're pretty neutral. Don't know what to do with that. Gold-silver ratio's at 87.51, but as long as it stays over the 18-day average, it means gold is, in my theory, stronger than silver. In the silver, you have still at work lower highs, lower lows. To break the pattern, you've got to take out that high. That means the pro's probably interested in selling at 29.35, but are you oversold? You're pretty close. You're at a 30 level. They'll have a tight stop. If you clear that number, this level of the down cycle comes to an end. That does not mean you're instantly bullish, but you're no longer bearish, is how I would rate it. Bollinger Band, hit it, made the end of it. Bollinger Bands, you were just days within getting that. That is the importance of understanding how to work with them. When you look at the platinum market, you hit the Bollinger Band 2 days, went through here. Got up to it here, came down. Learn how to work with it. Tie it together with momentum. Now, my version of slow stochastics is vastly different than how yours look. I give it to my subscribers. I'll give you the formula. You put it into your own charting software. You got to be a paid subscriber. I have it in TradingView. You can buy a suite where all this is there, my window envelopes and all the moving averages I use. And today I finished programming my Thinkorswim, so that on backup days, if this doesn't work, I no longer have that issue. I can go right in. I've got my slow stochastics. I have the swing lines in it now and everything else. So I've got 3 different charting services, including QT, 4 that can do this now. So, as we keep growing, we can't have these down times. Higher lows, higher highs. You can see how the market looking here, overbought. The market had run the Bollinger Band, finally got away, lost at the same time the bearish embedded reading, all kinds of signals in the course that you were going at least back up here. Now the question is, as you run up, do you have enough strength, which I don't think you do, to easily get through 101.65 and keep going? Did I say 101.65? I meant 102.03. That's the Bollinger Band. Current price is 101.65. You put it together, you try to come up with a game plan for things, and I have it. So if you take a look at this next, you can always click on here. That'll take you to our website, the icon there. You can go to iraepstein.com under courses. Everything you need is right in there. Take a look.